The weathering within the planet Earth. We all know that our Earth is experiencing global warming that was caused by unending trash and pollution in our planet. Here are some examples brought to us by the creative minds of the directors and writers of selected movies. In Geostorm, Jake Lawson, a technology designer, is tasked to save the world from natural disasters. In 2019, Jake successfully designed a network of satellites that neutralizes natural disasters.
We can control our weather.
3 years later, they have found out that a virus interfered the system and deleted everyone's login access to the satellites. That maybe one of them is a traitor and is using the Dutch boy as a weapon. Due to the virus, asteroids like Hailstorm hit the city of Tokyo, destroying anything and everyone on their way. Meanwhile, in Brazil, an ice wave that made everyone freeze to death leave everyone as corpuscles. Just to remove the virus in the system to stop the malfunctioning of the satellites, they needed to reboot the system manually to prevent the geostorm.
Cycles down, let me know. I'll manually reboot the...
Well, they at least managed to reboot the system just in time before a few seconds of massive destruction of Earth for this humongous storm called Geostorm.
3,
Come on, baby.
2, and 1.
Rebooting.
The net is back up. The virus is gone.
Cloudy with a chance of meatballs. In Swallow Village, there is a scientist wannabe named Flint Lockwood. Well, as young as he was, he already come up with a spray-on shoes. A bit of a problem down there as he grew older. People tend to see his experiments and discoveries as dumb thoughts or failures, but it didn't hinder Flint Lockwood's dream of being the scientist of the world. In fact, he had successfully invented most of his experiments. Oops, maybe not all.
Translator.
Hungry.
How wise.
Hungry.
Realize that sardines are super gross.
As his town suffers from only sardines to eat, Flint comes up with the idea of a machine that turns water into food.
Into food.
It's called the Flint Lockwood Diatonic Super Mutating Dynamic Food
After
Replicator.
rudely taking off in the opening of the Sardine Land amusement park, everyone is in shock that it began raining hamburgers in the town. That's when the time that Flint realizes that his machine is up to the sky working properly. On the other hand, the people goes out of control to their numerous demands of different foods that leads to a food storm.
Salt and pepper wind.
Swinging!
As Flint tried to transmit kill code to the machine manually, later on, Flint discovered that kill code copied by his dad is a dancing cat. Hopelessly grasping at the legs of the machine, he thought of using the spray-on shoes formula to shut the machine.
You put on a coat of spray-on shoes!
Now, let's try not to freeze ourselves to death in the movie Day After Tomorrow. This is a disaster movie that gives the viewers catastrophic disasters in a series of extreme weather events that leads to global cooling and thus a new ice age as the result of the disruption of Atlantic Ocean. A film that really echoes the paranoia that everyone had about climate change. Due to global warming, Jack Hall, a paleoclimatologist, discovered that a huge ice sheet has collapsed. He predicts that this event will cause a massive climate shift that will devastate the world within the next 1,000 years, not knowing that things will happen earlier. He tried to convince the vice president, but shuts him down. So he advises the president to evacuate everyone from the southern part of the continent to further south till the massive wave and freezing cold temperature improves. While an intense snowstorm is taking place in New York, his son Sam was trapped in a library with his friends. It is up to Jack to rescue them before they freeze to death.
We stay inside, we keep warm, and we wait it out.
The snow is getting deeper by the minute.
Dr. Seuss the Lorax is a movie based on the book by Theodore Giselle, also known as Dr. Seuss. However, with issues like climate change and mass extinction being the major issue, far from his other books adapted in the small screen, like The Grinch, the movie is about a boy named Ted that lives in a place called Denideville, where everything is made up of plastic.
Look at what we've got. It's the Okomatic, the only tree with its own remote. Summer, autumn, winter, and disco.
He wants to impress a girl named Audrey by getting her a trufula tree which cannot be found, so he visits the Onceler, who tells the story of how the trees were gone and how the Lorax, a creature, tried to stop him.
What's that? And nothing is going to stop me.
It all started when the Onceler wanted to create something called the Neve. He found something in a forest with trees with the most beautiful leaves and thinks it can be the great material for it. Then he chopped the tree down, but then the Lorax who protects the trees and all the creatures in the forest stopped him. But he ignored it. When Ted tries to come back to the Onceler, O'Hare, the mayor of the town, tells him to stop because it could ruin O'Hare's business.
I say let it die. Let it die, let it die. Let it shrivel up and come on.
But Ted tries his best to find another way and have everyone in town to know the truth and have the tree grow.
Thank you, Ted.
Next on our list is the movie WALL-E. When Pixar released WALL-E in 2008, the movie was best described as an environmentalist parable. However, Andrew Stanton, the director of the movie, disavowed the label and stated that the movie was not a political nor an ecological based. He just wanted to show a love story of the last robot on Earth. He don't really mind that it supports that kind of view, but it's certainly a good citizen kind of way to be. Nevertheless, let's focus on the movie and let ourselves be the judge of it. The movie WALL-E opened with a long and wide view shot of colorless and polluted Earth. Due to infinite industrialism and consumerism, our home made an environmental collapse in its system, turning itself into a desert-like wasteland, making it uninhabitable for all living things. Hundreds of robots were made to clean and to take care of Earth, but only one robot remains. A WALL-E, a waste allocation load lifter Earth class. On the other hand, humans were forced to leave our planet and boarded in a by and large megacorp spaceship called the Axiom. One day, a giant spaceship arrived and dropped a new robot named Eve, an extraterrestrial vegetation evaluator. Eve is sent on Earth to find the existence of life. WALL-E tried to speak to her and later presented a plan. Eve then captures it and automatically enters into the activated state. Several days later, the giant spaceship returned and take away Eve. As WALL-E didn't want to lose Eve, he hangs outside of the ship and the ship arrived back at the Axiom, where the all remaining humans exist. image of humans were very disappointing. All they have done is sit, eat, and sleep repeatedly. They completely rely on robots and technology. They make themselves lazy, lethargy, and disintegrated, turning our very own species useless. They lost their capacity to create and think, and made their body more vulnerable into helpless and shapeless rounded bodies. On the other hand, Captain Macrea, the captain of the ship, finds out that there's opportunity to come back home again. However, there are evil robots that hinder it. With the help of Wally, Eve, the rejected robots, and all the humans in the Axiom, they destroys all evil robots and together they save the last living planet. Then, they establish civilization again and live humanly all together with Eve and Wally on Earth.
Volcanoes are one of the most explosive landforms, with devastating outturns. Sure, the 1997 film put a match on the small screen when a mild earthquake struck Los Angeles. Emergency Department head Mike Howard, played by Tommy Lee Jones, arrived back from his vacation to help the city. However, things began to scorch up.
I can't do that, not ever.
Men working underground are burned to death. Water temperature of lakes soon rises up, and a serious disturbance are observed in the La Brea tar pits. So Mike requests the help of an expert, Dr. Amy Barnes, volcanologist. Suppose a volcano that about to erupt lies beneath the whole city. Would they be able to survive an open gate to hell? Actually, they tried to cool down the lava by spreading up the water all over the area, with the help of some choppers and multiple fire trucks. After so, Mike thought of leading away the lava to a more safer place, through the sewers by opening a canal through numerous explosions. What a great mind there, pal.